Welcome to my bold and beautiful today's show channel. I hope today fantastic for everyone. Please hit the subscribes button and give this video thumbs up. Taylor is betrayed by Eric's covert plan to reunite Ridge with Brooke. Eric Forrester intensifies his meddling to break up Ridge and Taylor, teaming with Donna and Brooke despite Taylor's fragile health. Ridge declares his love for Taylor, but will Eric's sway prevail? Eric's shocking betrayal. Patriarch plots to destroy Ridge and Taylor's relationship. The family patriarch has declared war on his own son's happiness, and the fallout could be devastating for everyone involved. Eric Forrester has officially crossed a line that even longtime viewers never saw coming. The patriarch of the Forrester family is not only privately disapproving of Ridge and Taylor's relationship, but he is also actively plotting against it with Donna and Brooke. This three-person wrecking crew is determined to reunite Ridge at any cost, even if it means crushing Taylor's recently healed heart in the process. Discussion of Eric's manipulative master plan. The calculated nature of Eric's interference is what makes this situation particularly upsetting. According to people close to the show, the patriarch has been carefully arranging situations where the former couple can reconnect, showing Ridge videos of their romantic encounters with Brooke, and meticulously recreating nostalgic bridge moments. Additionally, Taylor's recent battle with broken heart syndrome is well known to Eric. After her medical crisis and remarkable recovery, which happened largely because of her reunion with Ridge, you'd think Eric would show some compassion. Instead, he is willing to put her happiness and health at risk for his son's sake. Eric knows exactly what he's doing, says one insider. He has been a supporter of Ridge since the beginning, and he views Taylor as a temporary obstacle rather than a woman who has endured hell and back. Ridge stands firm, but for how long? Ridge deserves credit for keeping his commitment to Taylor despite his father's manipulations. Ridge made it clear that he had chosen Taylor and would keep his word when asked directly about Eric's wishes. However, soap fans are more aware than anyone else of Ridge Forrester's receptive nature. With Eric, Donna, and Brooke all working against him, will he eventually cave to the pressure? Given the designer's past, it's only a matter of time before he regains his feelings of confusion. Thomas and Stephen will be furious. There will be retribution when Steffi and Thomas learn what their grandfather is doing. Eric's betrayal isn't just about Taylor, it's a slap in the face to her children as well. Steffi has always been fiercely protective of her mother, and learning that Eric is actively trying to break her parents up will likely destroy her relationship with her grandfather. Thomas has only recently returned to everyone's good graces, but he is deeply committed to his family and will not tolerate anyone harming his mother. The health of Taylor is balanced. The most concerning aspect of this whole scheme is what it could mean for Taylor's well-being. Her diagnosis of broken heart syndrome was not just for dramatic effect. It is actually a real condition that can be fatal under extreme stress. If Ridge does eventually succumb to Eric's manipulation and returns to Brooke, the emotional devastation could send Taylor into a dangerous relapse. Is Eric really willing to put his former daughter-in-law's life at risk just to see his son with Brooke? One thing's for certain: the Forrester family is headed for an explosive confrontation that could permanently fracture relationships for generations to come. When the truth about Eric's meddling finally comes to light, no one will be left unscathed. Will Ridge discover his father's betrayal before it's too late? And if he does, will he stick by Taylor or give in to the urge to see Brooke again? Fans of the soap, the drama is only beginning. Why is Brooke so desperate? In recent times, it seems like everyone is asking themselves this question. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say that Brooke Logan is acting pretty desperate to get back with Ridge Forrester. Why is Brooke so desperate? But at the same time, fans can't help but wonder what the endgame might be in all of this. For years, Ridge has gone back and forth between Brooke and Taylor Hayes like the waffler that he is. However, it seems like Brooke is now acting like Ridge is the only man in America, even though she's been married to 6 other men. This time around she's acting like nothing in the world is going to stop her from getting back with Ridge, even though he's already made up his mind about Taylor. The woman should probably just get a hint, but that hasn't happened. This is not the same confident Brooke Logan that we remember from so many years ago. Of course, some readers shared their opinions about this storyline and where it seems to be going. What's next for Brooke Logan? Some even commented with, they were writing a lovely mature version of Brooke a while back, Now they have her back to being so desperate and sad and lonely without that loser. I don't think any fans even want to see Brooke with Ridge. That love story definitely isn't romantic. Another fan wrote, Taylor has no moral friends or family because they won't tell her to stop going back to the idiot. Brooke is beyond delusional too. It's pathetic because all four of these people have swapped. And then there was this comment as well, Ridge always swaps Brooke and Taylor. From previous experience, Brooke is aware that Ridge will leave Taylor and knock on her door. She's just upset that Taylor doesn't know the assignment. However, to find out what will happen next, B&B fans will simply need to tune in each and every day. Eric pleads Brooke's case. Eric giving Ridge advice that he doesn't want to hear. The bold and the beautiful spoilers, Ridge's obligation. After the success of the Forrester fashion show and Brooke Logan's showstopper appearance in that wedding dress, Ridge Forrester can't get his Logan off his mind. Eric Forrester sees this and has a talk with his son. He arranged for Brooke to model the gown because he wanted Ridge to be reminded of Portofino. He wants Ridge to take Brooke back and forget this nonsense with Taylor Hayes. Ridge is not interested in hearing what Eric has to say. He tells him he is with Taylor now, and that's that. He committed to her and is not planning to once more break her heart. Eric begs Ridge to reconsider because he is aware that Ridge has other priorities. When the person he is supposed to be with is present, he is unable to stay with someone out of obligation. Must read, The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, Steffi and Liam are leaving together. Will Ridge be able to see the light, or at the very least Eric's version of it? Brooke did stir up something in him when they were on the runway together. Brooke's destiny. Brooke explains to Hope Logan that Ridge is her destiny and they have to be together. Her entire life's work has been dedicated to being with Ridge and she can't give up now. Hope even agrees to support her mother, but reluctantly so. She still has a bone to pick with Ridge over how she was treated at Forrester Creations, but she also knows that the heart wants what it wants. Carter Walton's heart still wants Hope. So he shows up at Brooke's place and once again begs Hope to see things his way and give them a second chance. Is Hope willing to put the past behind them and move forward with Carter? Brooke sure hopes so. At one time, she thought that Liam was Hope's destiny, but now she is sure that it is Carter. Will Hope concur? Daphne Rose sure doesn't. Ridge stand by Taylor. Hope picks herself up. Hope finally comes to terms with Brooke's devotion to Ridge. You say you want to be with Ridge, then I want that for you, too, a serious Hope tells her mom. Brooke tells her daughter that Ridge is her destiny. Eric makes it clear his team Brooke, but Ridge is not having it. Brooke is where you belong, Eric insists. I'm committed to someone else, Ridge reminds his dad. Katie confronts Daphne and accuses her of being in cahoots with Steffi. Were you only in LA to do Steffi's dirty work? Katie snaps at Daphne. Do you want me as much as I want you? Hope asks Carter. Steffi and Taylor discover the true intended audience for the showpiece, which adds fuel to the fire. Katie catches a glimpse of Daphne kissing Carter. Ridge confronts Eric over the stunt he pulled with Brooke. Katie demands the truth from Daphne after having eavesdropped on her and Zende. Brooke's actions and Eric's words divide Ridge. Daphne doesn't stand a chance when Katie fiercely protects Carter. Hope gets suspicious of Liam's new living arrangement. Electra is praised by Will for her newfound happiness and success. Hope is encouraged by Liam to give Carter another shot. Nick and Brooke's reunion. Baby Jack returns all grown up. The Bold and the Beautiful reveal that Nick Marone comes back for a brief visit during a Forrester Creations fashion show. Could Nick's child with Brooke Logan also return with his reappearance? There has been no mention of baby Jack Malone, and the birth story is complicated. In addition, soaps are made of this material, so let's get started discussing the possibilities. Brooke Logan's heartbreak. Fans know that Brooke is heartbroken over Ridge Forrester. Brooke has experienced heartbreak before. However, Brooke seems to be having a hard time moving on this time around. Brooke's self-respect has also taken a dip, as what kind of woman of her maturity goes around begging a man when he's clearly moved on? Brooke sometimes needs a reminder, so maybe Nick will provide that for her. Nick Malone's comeback. Nick shows up. Could he once more bring back memories of Brooke's numerous relationships? Brooke might love Ridge, but clearly he doesn't love her. The best thing for Brooke to do would be to quit her job and live on her own. It's only painful to see Ridge every day because she is hanging on to her job at Forrester Creations. What happened to Jack Malone's infant son? The Bold and the Beautiful reveal that Nick and Brooke had a baby many years ago, a little boy named Jack Malone. However, it was Taylor Hayes that carried the baby even though genetically, the baby belonged to Brooke. This storyline existed before I started watching, but according to what I've read, it lasted about a year before poof. Nick and Jack both vanish. Since then, Nick has returned, but Jack is never mentioned. It kinda makes you wonder what happened to the little boy. Brooke Logan's surprise reunion? It's likely that Nick left town with the child. However, it's a bit weird that Brooke never mentions Jack. From the soap forums, it sounds like Jack was 3 years younger than RJ Forrester. So, could a grown-up Jack suddenly show up at Brooke's door? The twisted and warped baby story probably was never told to Jack. So, when Jack shows up demanding answers, it could cause a lot of complications. It could also give some new romantic opportunities for the young ladies in LA. The betrayals that have scarred the Forrester family over the years, none have cut deeper or been more shocking than Eric Forrester's current secret campaign to destroy Ridge and Taylor's relationship in a ruthless bid to reunite Ridge with Brooke. In an emotional labyrinth where loyalty, love, and legacy clash spectacularly, Eric's actions don't just cross moral boundaries, they blow them to pieces. In the golden glow of the Forrester mansion's chandeliers, behind the pristine glamour of the family empire, a ticking time bomb has been planted by the very man who is supposed to hold it all together. Eric, in a quiet conspiracy with Donna and a heartbroken but determined Brooke, is orchestrating a breathtakingly manipulative master plan designed to tear Ridge away from Taylor, despite knowing full well that Taylor's very health and perhaps her life depends on the love and stability she has finally found with Ridge. It's a betrayal so profound it risks shattering the entire Forrester clan beyond repair, setting the stage for a multi-generational fracture that no amount of designer bandages could ever mend. Eric's plot is both meticulous and cruel. He meticulously recreates some of Bridge's most memorable moments, bringing back memories of Ridge and Brooke's passion and destiny. Videos of past romantic escapades, nostalgic photo montages, and unexpected chance encounters engineered by Donna keep bombarding Ridge, forcing him to relive a past he thought he had finally put behind him. Every glance, every carefully staged coincidence, every whispered word is a knife twisting deeper into the heart of Taylor's fragile happiness. And Eric is aware of it. He knows Taylor has been diagnosed with broken heart syndrome, knows that her reconciliation with Ridge was a miraculous balm for her battered soul, and yet, still, he plows forward with a chilling single-mindedness, determined to see his vision of destiny fulfilled at any cost. Eric doesn't see Taylor as a human being with a wounded heart barely stitched back together. He sees her as an obstacle, a regrettable, inconvenient hurdle on the golden path leading Ridge back into Brooke's arms. Ridge tries to resist by putting his feet firmly on the ground in the present with Taylor, but the past keeps pulling at him, fueled by Eric's schemes. Ridge, ever the emotional waffler, protests his loyalty to Taylor, insisting to his father and to himself that his commitment is real, that he will not allow history to repeat itself. But fans of the Bold and the Beautiful know better. Eric, Donna, and Brooke are mercilessly exploiting every weakness in Ridge's heart, which is a battlefield of nostalgia, obligation, and unresolved yearning. Eric's pleadings are relentless. He paints Taylor as an obligation Ridge has taken on out of guilt and frames Brooke as Ridge's true soulmate, his inevitable destiny. Ridge may be able to stem the tide, but it is fed by decades of entwined lives, fateful declarations, and the sacred chanting of destiny. It's only a matter of time before even the strongest resolve begins to crumble under the weight of engineered memories and carefully stoked emotions. But if Ridge's heart falters, the Forrester family faces a reckoning like no other. When Steffi and Thomas learn of Eric's betrayal, the fury unleashed will be volcanic. Steffi, Taylor's fiercest protector, has never taken threats to her mother's happiness well. This time, the betrayal will come from the man Taylor grew to admire and love as the wise, steady head of their family, not from someone else. Thomas's response might be even more explosive than Steffi's fury. Having only recently clawed his way back from years of estrangement and mistrust, Thomas will see Eric's sabotage not only as an attack on Taylor but as an act of family treason that cannot and will not go unpunished. The Forrester family gatherings, once filled with champagne toasts and loving toasts, could quickly devolve into shouting matches and tearful accusations, with loyalties ripped apart and alliances reshuffled in devastating ways. And overshadowing it all is the chilling specter of Taylor's health. This is about life and death, not just broken hearts and bruised egos. Taylor's most recent episode was no small scare. Broken heart syndrome is a real, potentially fatal condition that is not a soap opera exaggeration. After exerting so much effort to reclaim Ridge, the stress of losing him now may result in a catastrophic relapse from which she may never recover. Eric, in his arrogant certainty that he knows best, is playing a deadly game with Taylor's life as the stakes. He may believe he's acting out of love for his son, but love twisted by obsession becomes cruelty. Eric may end Taylor's life and cause irreparable harm to Ridge, Steffi, and Thomas in the process of attempting to bring about what he believes to be Ridge's true happiness. Meanwhile, Brooke's desperate actions only exacerbate the situation. Once a confident, self-assured woman, Brooke now seems hollowed out by longing, her identity shackled entirely to the idea of being Ridge's destiny. She clings to the hope of reconciliation with a fervor that feels more tragic than romantic, acting as if Ridge is the last man on earth capable of loving her, despite having survived countless other relationships in her colorful past. A woman who appears prepared to give up her dignity for one more chance at a love that has, in many ways, already died has replaced the empowered Brooke who could command boardrooms and hearts with equal ferocity. Viewers who once cheered for Brooke now watch with pained sympathy or frustrated exasperation as she humiliates herself for a man who has, time and again, proven that he will never fully choose her without conditions. The return of Nick Marone, Brooke's former flame and the father of their long-forgotten son, Jack Malone, adds complexity to the situation. Brooke had long suppressed memories and regrets, but Nick's reappearance may provide a glimpse of the person she was before Ridge consumed her entire being. Could Brooke get the wake-up call she so desperately needs from Jack and Nick? Could it finally remind her that her life is bigger than Ridge Forrester's indecisive heart? Or will even Nick's reemergence be swallowed whole by the gravitational pull of Brooke's obsession with being Ridge's one and only? Hope Logan watches her mother's unraveling simultaneously with a mixture of sadness and resignation. She supports Brooke, but with clear reluctance, aware that the cycle of pain and betrayal never truly ends. Hope herself faces emotional turbulence, with Carter Walton's unexpected confession of love further complicating her tangled romantic life. Hope's journey toward self-respect and independence mirrors what Brooke's could be if only Brooke could find the strength to break free from her endless, suffocating pursuit of Ridge. Even when the men they long for have repeatedly proven to be unworthy of such devotion, generations of women continue to struggle with the same desperate need for love validation. Katie, fierce and unapologetically protective, confronts Daphne and peels back layers of deception that could upend yet another fragile equilibrium within the Forrester orbit. Meanwhile, Daphne's arrival and involvement with Carter add fuel to the fire. The fragile alliances that have held Forrester creations together are on the verge of breaking apart as betrayals spread and secrets come to light. The lines are finally drawn with brutal clarity when Ridge confronts Eric about the plan to manipulate Eric's emotions by using Brooke's show-stopping runway moment. Ridge finds himself at a crossroads once more as the passionate pleas of his father and Brooke's desperate declarations clash with his commitment to Taylor. The weight of history, of family expectations, of old promises and new loyalties all converge on Ridge's shoulders, demanding a decision that will redefine the Forrester family's future. Will he stand by Taylor, choosing a path of loyalty, healing, and hard-won love? Or will he surrender to the relentless pull of nostalgia, destiny, and familial pressure, breaking Taylor's heart and perhaps endangering her very life in the process? As the walls close in and the emotional stakes soar to unbearable heights, one truth becomes undeniable. Whatever choice Ridge makes, the Forrester family will never be the same. It's possible that Eric's shady plan to reunite Ridge and Brooke will work, but it will also leave behind a scorched earth full of broken hearts, shattered trust, and bitter resentments that no grand apology, no matter how tearful or contrite, can ever hope to fix. And when the dust finally settles, soap fans can be sure of one thing: love, loyalty, and legacy in the world of the bold and the beautiful will never again be simple or pure. They will be battlefields scarred by betrayal, where every smile hides a wound and every embrace carries the memory of a knife in the back. Eric's secret plan to reunite Ridge with Brooke betrays Taylor's trust, a deep dive into the Forrester family drama. The Bold and the Beautiful has never shied away from explosive family dynamics, but Eric Forrester's latest scheme to reunite Ridge with Brooke at the expense of Taylor Hayes crosses a line that even longtime fans find shocking. This storyline isn't just about romantic entanglements, it's about betrayal, manipulation, and the dangerous consequences of meddling in fragile relationships. Eric, once the wise and stabilizing patriarch of the Forrester family, has devolved into a puppet master, orchestrating a cruel game that could destroy multiple lives. His alliance with Donna and Brooke reveals a calculated ruthlessness, targeting Taylor's emotional and physical well-being despite her recent battle with broken heart syndrome. Meanwhile,